Welcome to CYF Spotlight, presented by the Commission on Children, Youth, and Families. The Commission is a joint effort between the City of Farmington Hills and the City of Farmington. Its purpose is to foster a healthier community by focusing on our most precious resources, our children and our families. The Commission is made up of dedicated volunteers and community activists from all walks of life. Working together with other groups and agencies in the community, the Commission creates programs with one goal: to encourage a supportive environment where children, youth, and families are happy, healthy, educated, and safe, and have the opportunity to reach their full potential. The Commission is hosting this show to bring our focus and activities to the community. We welcome your input and support. You can learn more about our Commission at our website, www.cyf.us. On today's CYF Spotlight, we are going to have an update on the Commission on Children, Youth, and Families. With me today are Anthony Lewis, Chair of the Commission and also a Civil Rights Specialist for the state, and Dr. Paul Melrose, the Commission's Vice Chair and a therapist and professional coach at Samaritan Counseling Center. Welcome to the show. Tell me, what is the Commission on Children, Youth, and Families?
Well, the Commission on Children, Youth, and Families is supported by both communities, Farmington, Farmington Hills. Each is allowed to elect so many members based on population of the two communities. And it's a group that gets together monthly to do a number of things, monitor the programs and activities going on within our communities that affect children, youth, and families, and sometimes to create new emphases, new projects. It becomes a forum for ideas. It becomes a place for, as I said, progress on some ongoing things, and a place for a variety of community people to dialogue about our concerns as members of the community.
Okay. Now, how did this commission come to be? What was the inspiration for it originally when it was created in 1993, right?
Well, it was originally created as kind of like the conscience, so to speak, of the city council, to provide some type of guidance on concerns that are happening, on things that affect the children and the families of the different cities. Mm-hmm. And it was designed to say, okay, to provide the city council with some ideas on policies or some different procedures or programs that the city can offer, to the many residents.
Okay. And so the mission statement then is to encourage a supportive environment where children, youth, and families are happy, healthy, educated, and safe, and have the opportunity to reach their potential. So how have you enacted that over the years? How has the mission statement become reality?
A number of things come to mind, and with us having different experiences, we may both have different thoughts about that. Sure. I believe that the youth department of the Special Services Office of Farmington Hills was one of the things that got spun off out of the early days of the commission. Along with what Tony just said, there needing to be more thought given to the care of youth and children in the community. We have also, at different points, done TV shows like this being an ongoing project of our commission, bringing a whole variety of community concerns. I think we have clarified over the years that children, youth, and families means just that, all of the residents of Farmington Hills, from as ever young they are, the newborn, up to the old and frail, because we have within our community homes for a variety of populations. Sure. We don't operate independently. Sometimes we've worked with the Commission on Aging on some things and looked for partnerships, as we did a couple of years ago with a number of groups, when as one of our projects we put together 2 job fairs when the concern for unemployment was so high. We partnered with a couple other city commissions, town government, and other agencies in the community, Samaritan Counseling Center, the Michigan School for Professional Psychology. Probably 2 other things that come to my mind are previous programs we've done. One was a depression video, which I think is still broadcast occasionally. Okay. essence of the information is still very important, particularly depression amongst teens and how to recognize that and places to go to deal with it and those kinds of things. And then there was one done on race relations where one of the broadcasters from Channel 7 was the guest MC, and Andy Nickelhoff, a former chair of our commission, did a lot of work with other people in the community to put together a video, a show like this, I think helping to appreciate and lift up the diversity, particularly racially, ethnically, and religiously of our community. So
now you mentioned, and I'd love to hear your input on this as well, I just wanted to get back to the CYF Spotlight is an outgrowth of your efforts.
Yes.
And while we air on local TV, we also are online, so we're really inspiring people beyond the borders of Farmington Hills, right?
Yes.
I wonder, is this a unique type of a construct to our community, or are there commissions like this elsewhere? Do you happen to know if other localities are doing similar things and sort of inspiring each other in the same way?
Well, I think this community is unique in a lot of ways. This is one of the ways, having the commission and then having the platform of the show such as this.
Sure.
And also with other different commissions and other different organizations that are a part of city government, like the Mayor's Youth Council.
Sure.
You know, because the Mayor's Youth Council was something that was an outgrowth of a lot of discussions between the different, a lot of discussions between the youth services, and some commissioners, recognizing, I think that's something we need more input from the youth here in this, from the youth here in the city, and I think that those are some of the things that are definitely unique to this community that are not, I would say, are not as widespread in other communities.
If I take uniqueness in a little bit different direction too, in terms of if this commission itself is unique, I've had several conversations with former mayor, she may be coming back as mayor, I say that with respect, Nancy Bates, who was also in city government, I believe as mayor when this commission was organized, and it certainly is one of the earliest. I think there are others across the country, but I don't know how widespread or whether there's others in the state. But
it's a really beautiful concept that people citizens are concerned about the welfare of our families. And so coming together to really think about that in dialogue and come up with ideas for how to better the community is really beautiful. Can you tell me about the members on the commission, how many people sit on it, and where do they come from?
Well, the members of the commission, they make up Farmington, the city of Farmington and Farmington Hills, and basically they're from all walks of life, from the representatives of the different communities, like as Paul said, from we have retirees to those who are active, in their current employment, such as Paul and myself. We have others who are representative of both chiefs of police are represented on the commission. We also have the youth services that are represented. But we also have organizations like the AAUW, Farmington, which is the Association of University Women. Have representation, and we also have members who are, like I said, it's just from all walks of life, all industries.
How
who
many
are currently
people
employed.
are on the commission?
There are 24, I believe.
Okay. And they just volunteer, or they're elected? How does that work?
Well, one, we do on their volunteer basis, but they also are appointed by the mayor.
Ah, okay.
And those selections are, and you can find out on the city's website, about the different commissions and how you apply to, how you would apply to be a part of the commission and express interest in being a part of the commission. And then when there's an opening, you'd be contacted. You'd be contacted to see if you're still interested in being part of the commission.
And how long is the term of participation?
I think the term is 3 years, and then you receive a letter from your respective mayor, depending on which community you represent, inviting you to re-up.
Okay.
And given the state of the challenges of volunteering for anything these days, with the busyness and the variety of conflicts going on in people's lives, a number of folks have been on the commission for a lot of years.
So we're thinking more than 4 terms for you and about 3 terms for you at this point, right? And counting, something like that?
I'm on my 3rd term,
Yeah. So how did you each come to join the commission? Tell me those stories.
Well, actually, I was invited to join the commission by the former chair, John Golashevsky, a colleague of mine with the Department of Civil Rights. And I was looking to get involved. I had really just moved into the Farmington Hills community. My family, we just moved here. My children are in schools, in Farmington schools, so I was looking to get more involved. And John said, "Hey, well, why don't you come see what the commission is and see what it's about?" And once I, got a chance to see what the commission was doing, see the makeup of the commission, and I felt like this is something that I wanted to be a part of. So, so then I made the request, put in a request to be a part of the, a letter basically to be a part of the commission, and the mayor appointed me.
Wonderful, and now you're at the head of the commission.
Yeah.
Right? And then, Paul, how did you join the commission?
A little bit different. One of the hats I've worn professionally is as an active United Methodist clergy person, and when I came to the community, my wife and I both joined the Farmington Area Interfaith Religious Leaders Association, and the current member of the commission who was representing FAIA, Reverend Mark Summers, was about to leave for another position, and thought that since I was a therapist and new in the community and whatever you want to do with that, I might be a good person to come on board. And it fits with a lot of my interests in terms of community needs and human interest in human services and that kind of thing. So I've continued actually to be the representative of the Farmington Area Interfaith Association for all this time.
Wow.
And they have been one of the community groups Tony was alluding to that support a number of the commissions and other agencies in town, and I happen to represent them here on our commission.
Wonderful. So you mentioned a few of the projects that the commission has done, the videos that you talked about. I know there are other really notable programs, the after school program, a couple others, volunteer recognition night. Could you talk a little bit about those programs?
Well, we have we do support the after school programs with different because we have Todd Lipper, who's a part of the commission, and oftentimes there'll be projects that they will bring to us for to assist in funding or some things of that nature, different projects that we could get involved in. So we support in those ways also, and then we have volunteer recognition night where. Where we recognize members of the community, both Farmington and Farmington Hills, for their exemplary efforts in volunteering their time or volunteering their services. And because we have a business award, we have a student award, we have a family award, and we have the individual award, which is the George Romney Award. Oh wow! For the individual kind of like volunteer of the year. Okay. Award, nice. And it's a very it's a very good program because it's important for commissions and for the city council and for us as a community to recognize other community members who are donating their time. Absolutely. To for the betterment for the betterment of all of our community members, and so I think it's that's one of our kind of keynote sort of programs that we have, because it gives us an opportunity to give back to the community. It gives us an opportunity to just put our community on display and those who have volunteered their time. That's beautiful. That's really nice. What is Lean Screen Family? Is that a program that you've come up with as well?
It's been one of the things that fall for me into the category of I think we've been able to push the boundaries of what people ought to be aware of a little bit, and do that carefully. I mean, we are a political institution, so we are funded by the government, so it's not our role to take a position. But one of our functions, I think, has been educational, and the program you're referring to is one of them. We've done a lot with mental health awareness. We did a forum on stigma of mental health. We've done a public one on other areas of mental health. And then even such basic things as children and their understanding how to vote. We've had programs each year about inviting children to accompany their parents to the voting site just to see what that's all about. Very nice. There's been the program that we still advertise annually about taking a day away from all screens. There's a specific name to it.
Turn off the TV.
Turn off the TV.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yes, and to that, some people want to add the cell phone, the smartphone, and the tablet and the computer and all that,
I'm
just
all
so
for
that
it.
there's no screens around it. You actually have to, I mean, because isn't the alternative now that the three of us get together and we should really be texting each
Right,
other?
we shouldn't look at each other, we should be, right?
Yeah. So there's been those kinds of things. And then I think because of some of the efforts we've done, the City Council of Farmington Hills then put together its own community based on our long history of working on mental health needs to do something around teen suicide over the last year. So we've actually generated another of programmatic emphases of different groups in the city too. So maybe we've been sort of influential.
We've had the opportunity to to do some good things, and luckily we have some commission members who are who are all in.
That's
so
wonderful.
to speak. And that's what I think, and that's really what, I mean, Paul and I are here, but we're really just representative of, the many, because they really make the engine go. We're just the face. They're really the moving parts that, that make everything go, our commissioners.
It's really a community effort.
Exactly.
Tell me what's next, what's on tap for this coming year? Any programs that you want to roll out or ideas you're talking about?
Well, we've got a few. We've got a couple things going on. We're having a retreat.
Oh wow.
September 22nd, I believe.
Okay.
So yes, and we also want to. I believe we're going to be inviting community members to come and be a part of it, because at the retreat, what we're going to be doing is charting out the future of the commission.
Very nice.
Sitting down and finding out where we're relevant, finding out where we need to, some of the things where we need to focus on, and what haven't we done and what do we need to do to serve our communities going forward. So we're going to be having a comprehensive, like I said, it's a retreat. On the 22nd, it's a Saturday, so you can come on out and spend the morning with us.
Okay.
Our next meeting is September 6th, and we meet the first Thursday
of every month. Okay.
Exactly. In City Hall, in the City Hall Community Room.
Okay.
In Farmington Hills.
Okay.
Community room.
Okay.
And this year we're looking at hopefully partnering with some other, looking at building our partnerships with other, with other community organizations and with other, with other commissions and other organizations to kind of broaden our reach and kind of pool our resources to grow other existing programs along with possibly growing our programs.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, these are challenging times for any public entity because of changes, mostly decreases in funding of what they're able to do. Not so much funding programmatically, but funding in terms of support and staff and those kinds of things. And there's been some changes in some of the other community groups. The coalition that deals directly with drug and alcohol abuse and brings that concern forward had some changes in both staffing and funding. So they've approached us about some ways to work together. We just invited speakers from the suicide task force I referred to a bit ago that was spun off by our efforts and then put into place by the Farmington Hills City Council. Two of their representatives came and talked to us about what their current emphases are. So that we could talk about working together. It's increasingly more difficult for people to lend time to do things. It's one thing to come to a meeting and be very faithful, and I'd say the 24 folks Tony's referring to have certainly done that. But then if we want to get out and to do whatever, or to start a program like any other volunteer organization, even though we celebrate volunteerism, we, like all, struggle to find the people power to make things happen. And so that's both a concern as we have our retreat and just as more programs develop. So the sense of partnership, I think, that Tony referred to is really critical right now, so that overall the cities can do appropriate to these times what they've been doing, or find ways to recast it and do it differently, but still as well. Sure.
Now, have you seen any impact or results that you can really say, since this commission came into being, wow, the community is just really, it's coming together, families are so happy here. Have you heard any anecdotal evidence or anything that you've witnessed yourselves? This is really working. It's good that we're working together.
Well, I think the youth services is one. I mean, some of the programs, some of the projects that we worked with Todd on in terms of in terms of supporting some of the, especially now with back to school and some of the things we supported with them, because we did the backpacks, a couple of, we've done 2 or 3 years,
It's a great
backpack,
program.
where we've provided those. And, I think, and also I really believe the town hall, when we did our town hall regarding depression,
Okay.
I think that was something that really had a major impact because, depression, because that's something that, we kind of push it to the side and we kind of, those things that people say, oh, I'm just having a bad day.
Right.
So I think that those are some of the, that awareness and having that forum, and it was so widely attended.
Yes.
Okay.
And we had experts there. It was so widely attended. I think that really had a major impact on the just awareness.
Okay.
Of that, the depression's out there, and sometimes it's more than just having a bad day. And
Sure.
so I think that's, those are some of the things that our involvement in the different projects and us having things like our videos and also our program, our CYF show, our program. I think
Sure.
is probably one of our, I think that's also. Made a difference because
Sure.
of some of the over the years we've had some very good shows over the years, some very
Wonderful.
informative shows over the years, and I think that's also made a difference.
Sure.
Being having that, just bringing awareness, because I think that's more to what we do as a commission is bring awareness to different concerns and different things that are happening in our communities that we need to and then working with other organizations to try to address
Sure.
what those concerns are.
That's wonderful.
One of the other things that we spawned, and as I think speaks to your question, is that at some point, as people were concerned about a variety of needs to fund things, and of course we're not a funding organization, the conversation began, and over the years has developed into now a separate 501c3, the Farmington Hills Foundation on Youth and Families, and it's become a funding source for a variety of nonprofits that need major or minor funding up to the limits that they can give.
Okay.
They award twice a year, and it is a direct offshoot of this commission, and it now runs its own independent program. And it's the fundraising arm for some of the concerns we as a commission have, and so they've supported different educational activities, different kinds of special projects for kids and other kinds of things. They've given grants to the Samaritan Counseling Center for our fee subsidy program. So they've picked up a lot of the energy to be able to have an arm and an organization to actually implement some of the things that we've been talking about.
Wow. Well, you've just accomplished so much. I mean, that's really impressive, and hopefully it's an inspiration for lots of communities. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about the commission or your experiences on it?
Well, one thing I'd like to add is that we do have openings.
Okay.
We do have openings on the commission, and we welcome everyone to, to find out. I mean, we're on the fh.gov website.
Okay.
And
it's
our
Farmington
page.
or Farmington Hills residents?
Yes.
Okay.
Either Farmington or Farmington Hills residents.
Okay.
And we're open to to new members, to new commissioners. Obviously, over the last 19 years since the commission was formed.
Sure.
Obviously, there's been the demographics have changed,
Sure.
In Farmington and Farmington Hills. So,
Okay.
and we want the commission to reflect that.
Okay.
Because we want the Commission on Children, Youth, and Families to obviously reflect the children, youth, and families of this,
Right.
Other two communities.
Right.
So obviously, we're asking that anyone, if you're interested, just come to our website, and the information is there on how to express an interest in being a part of the commission. And like I said, the public is welcome to attend our commission meetings the first Thursday of every month.
Okay.
So they're welcome to attend our commission meetings and find out just then get a firsthand and find out what it's about and what are some of the things we're doing, what are some things we're working on,
Okay.
and maybe that'll be something that they would like to be a part of.
Okay. Wonderful. It's a great opportunity. And when people volunteer, they end up getting so much back. Even though they're giving so much, it just comes back to you tenfold. It does.
One other thing I can add is that I've taken on the responsibility this year, and it hasn't happened as often as I would like, but I occasionally will do a blog for Farmington Patch on commission-related things.
Oh, great.
And when I do that, I'll also run an article over to the Observer Eccentric. And those appear very occasionally, but as we continue our work, if a member of the community has an idea for either of those, they could get in touch with us. There's a commission email on our website,
Okay.
and address it to me and say, has the commission thought about, or would you share some thoughts in either of your public relations places on Patch or Observer Eccentric on this kind of a matter? And
Great. Okay.
That keeps us, in other ways we're trying to stay connected with the community.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
There's
And
lots of ways to get involved.
Exactly, and also like to add that we are always looking for other organizations and community organizations out there in the communities that we'd like to partner with, or they have some programs that they may may want to partner with us on, or to grow the to assist, and we can assist them in growing the program.
Beautiful.
Or promoting it in some way. So those are other ways that we're looking at assisting our members of the community and other organizations, because one of the things this year is also we're going to be definitely increasing our partnerships. Wow. With other organizations, with other youth organizations, other school and community organizations throughout both cities.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here today, for all your hard work on the commission. It's making a huge difference in our community. So again, to Anthony Lewis, Dr. Paul Melrose, thank you so much for being here and for all of your time with the commission.
All right, thank you.